Hi guys, and welcome to Panic and Me. So today is a very exciting video because we are here to introduce our pets.
Yeah, so my two are running around the room, and I'm sure that they'll come and say hello when they want to. But they are very independent and they do what they want to. So
Yeah, see, these
um,
love to climb on me. So I have rats,
mhm.
and they're absolutely gorgeous. Like this is Saule. Oh,
Which is Lithuanian for
fun. And then this is Memula, which is Lithuanian English
she's
for moon.
cute.
So moon and sun.
Oh, she's so cute. So I have Star and Luna, and they're two daggers. Star doesn't want to come up. She made an appearance in our meditation video, but they're quite like that. They'll come to you when you don't want them to, and then they'll run away when you do. So the other day I was journaling, and like they just come up and like ripping my book up, like tearing it because I'm paying attention to that and not to them. But yeah, so they are really fun animals. I think like we're going to talk about animals and mental health, right?
Yes. So
And mhm,
so basically, pets in general, there's been a lot of studies shown with pets and mental health that it reduces stress a lot for
mhm,
people. It's a great mood booster. Um, Provides companionship, sense of security, sharing the day with your pets as well, especially if you are alone. Um, which is great. Caring for them can help you feel wanted and needed. And these are all like actually studies done on
mhm,
this. Reduces anxiety, helps self confidence. Pets listen with no criticism because they just love you who they are. They
mhm,
don't have anything to say to me. Like, yeah,
mhm.
they just love me. So meeting new people, like Facebook groups. Obviously, if you have a
Yeah.
dog, you will go on walks, but with pets like these, Facebook groups, talking to people about them, asking advice, simple things like that. They add structure to your day, creates a purpose in your life, and a sense of achievement.
Mhm,
And there has been a study shown for children who they've looked at like the same BMI for children that have pets and do not, and looking into the it has shown basically that children with pets have better less anxiety, less stress, more achievements,
mhm,
boosting serotonin and everything. Yeah, it's
mm.
so much better for.
I've even heard that having a pet can like boost your immune system
Mm-hmm,
as
mm-hmm.
well. Um, I might quickly go and see if I can get Star and Luna to join. If I can get them to join us,
Yeah,
I
go.
can find.
So I'll just talk a little bit about my girls.
Here you go.
Oh, you got them.
I've got one of them. Oh, they both wanted to come. Wow, we're lucky today.
Oh,
So I'll just quickly say, this is Luna and this is Star, who are desperate to go back and explore. They have like lots of things around the room that they can play with. So my partner built them like a two-story box house thing with their wheel in and stuff. You want to go too? And they're just so active and they're lovely. But they're definitely different to rats.
mhm.
But you might have to Google them because lots of people haven't heard of dagoos before. But they're awesome pets,
Yeah,
and yeah, they're just lovely.
yeah, they.
If I pretend I don't want to interact with them, then they'll come loads of times into the video.
Yeah, my.
So
Oh,
they're like needy children. That like when you're not paying attention to them, they're like, pay attention to me, and they'll just squeak at me and everything. if I don't pay attention to them. But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about your girls?
Yeah, so I have read that rats are great therapy pets because you can train them. They're clever. You can get them to do lots of things. So mine know how to spin. Mine come to me when I call them, and when I'm currently teaching them how to high five. So they're absolutely amazing. They're so smart. They're not gross because they're pets. So like the rats that you see outside, they're completely different to pets. Because they're taken care of, they're loved, and like just look at her face. Like how can
they are so cute?
Something like this. So yeah, I read that rats are great therapy pets. For those reasons I have mentioned. I tried to find therapy within dengues, but I couldn't really find much within therapy. But I guess it's the same thing. Because yours are
I mean, degus are exotic pets, so not a lot of people have them. But I can talk like from my own experience. So you can't get degus unless you're really willing to look after them. And willing to spend time with them, because they're not rats are, I think, are a lot more naturally tame. So they'll come and like sit with you, won't they, and love you straight away, whereas degus take time to build their trust, because degus are wild animals, whereas like you said, rats were bred to be pets. Now they're like fancy rats. Whereas degus are exactly the same as they are in the wild, so they're wild animals. But given like time, love, and attention, they become really, really affectionate, and they can live for like up to 8 years. So for me, they've both got, every degu has its own personality. So Star is like quite a timid, quiet degu, and we have taken a bit longer to bond. But recently I've been seeing her like trusting me a little bit more, which is really nice. But Luna is like my little girl. And when I'm upset, obviously I've had a lot of therapy on Zoom, and she will actually like come and sit with me during these sessions. I've noticed, like, especially when I'm upset, they're really like intuitive animals. And like, oh, she wants freedom. And like rats, they're really smart. You can teach them to spin and high five and all of this. And it's quite nice knowing that they won't just love anyone, if that makes sense. Like, they trust me because I've raised them and looked after them and all of that. They're so naughty as well. Like, Star is currently trapped in Star is trying to steal a jammy dodger. Look, can you see that? No, thank you, Ta. And they're so cheeky and adventurous, and they're just amazing pets. So yeah, they're brilliant. So you have to be really careful what they eat, because otherwise they'll get diabetic. So.
Yeah. Why did you get them?
Why did I get degus? So as I think I've spoke about like in the podcast before, in December I had a relapse in my mental health, and I got these guys, I think in January or February, as a kind of way to give me something outside of myself to focus on. And they have actually been really important in kind of getting me back on my feet, because you can focus on something else. And like you said, animals don't judge. They're always there for you. When they're like excited to see you and stuff, it's really like a nice experience. When they, are clearly happy to like spend time with you and stuff. So yeah. Why did you get your I mean, I saw these two like from a breeder in Norwich, and I saw them and I just knew that I wanted them to be mine. So my partner drove me up to Norwich and we picked them up, and the best decision ever, I think.
Yeah. So why I got mine is I had a really tough time when I came back to Burma, and just I was in a very bad place. especially, and I can talk about this in another video soon, of having really bad suicidal thoughts. So I went back home to my parents to be with them for a bit, and we decided to, because of Olivia's knowledge on degus and her sand baths, my brother has a hamster, so we went to Pets at Home to buy some sand for his sand bath, and we just had a look at some adoption animals, and I seen my two girls. I just absolutely fell in love with them. I'm like, I do not want them staying in that not cage, but it was like a enclosure any longer. I want to take them home. So
Yeah.
went home. I just kept looking at the videos I filmed of them. I talked to my mom, waited for her to come back from work, and we went to have a look, ask questions. That same day, went to go and get a cage, which is just there. And the next day, we went and got them. So I'm glad no one else
Lovely.
took them. Yeah.
Bear with me 1 second. I'm misbehaving again. I think I need to move this bag out of their they're both sitting in the bag looking up at me. For some reason they enjoy jumping into this bag at the moment.
Yeah, so I fell in love with my girls just as Olivia did. And
Yeah.
and I had a bit of like a misconception on rats as well before, until I seen my little girls, and I was like, wow, how can anyone hate them? They're so beautiful and gorgeous, and they're two sisters as well. Currently they are going to be 3 months soon, so they're still little babies, but they don't live long. They only live for 2-3 years, and which is quite sad, but they're gonna have the best life with me while they are alive, and I will potentially get more if I have my own place and get a massive cage for them, and like let, because they run around in my room all the time. I let them out, like they literally run around for 2-3 hours a day. Sometimes they come and like fall asleep on me while I'm doing work. Just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. So yeah, when I have my own place, potentially more.
Should we say a little bit about like the caring needs side of things?
Yeah. Why not eating something?
I know they're nightmares, aren't they? Like I've just had to wrestle the jammy dodger off of Star. Should we say a little bit about like caring needs for them? So degus and rats both need ginormous cages, right? And the only reason you get away with having a little cage is because they're out in your room all day long, right?
Yeah, it's not like too small, but like, well, to be honest, all they do right now is just sleep in there anyway, and I'm literally home all the time, so they're just running all the time. They fall asleep on my bed, they fall asleep on me, and whenever I put them in there, they just sleep.
Yeah,
because they sleep for like 15 hours a day. So to be honest, currently I do not need a big cage.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, if people are thinking of getting rats, it wouldn't be appropriate for them to get a little cage like that, then just leave them in there. Because I know you showed your cage. Huh?
Get yourself a bird cage, because it's quite high.
But like you want like really big cages. And degus also need large cages. So me and my partner built them, like, you know, it's like 100, it's like a meter by a meter by like 70 centimeters, and it's got lots of different floor levels and lots in there for them to chew and all of that. With rats and degus, like with cages, basically the bigger the better. Obviously, like I said, your cage is all right because they just sleep in there and they run around your room all day. But if you were to just put them in that cage all the time, they'd soon get depressed and stuff, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So it's like degus and rats, they're not just animals to just have in the corner. They are really interactive and need that like human companionship, don't they? And you should always, unless there's like a very specific reason not to, you should always have degus or rats in at least a pair, shouldn't you?
Yes.
Unless like they're too aggressive or something to have with other animals, but they're so social and easily like depressed and stuff. But when you like give them the time to play and stuff, they're just such rewarding animals. In terms of like mental health, I wanted to say as well, looking after animals can be like a great distress technique as well, technique to like deal with overwhelming emotion. Because something that I do sometimes is like clean out their cage. Massive job to do, and it's a good like distraction technique if you like want to distract yourself. Another we've got a star joining us. Another thing about do you call them over?
Yeah.
Another thing about animals is with suicidal like ideation and thoughts and stuff, they can be a really good protective mechanism.
Yeah.
Because you can't take your own life because you've got to get up in the morning and look after them. So actually, and it can literally be any animal, can't it? It can be anything ranging from like a fish or an insect. Like you had urchin for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah,
who was like a baby tarantula, all the way up to dogs or horses or anything. But having an animal in your life, whichever, because most of us can accommodate, like, even if it's just a fish, you know, or like just a little insect. And I think everyone should have animals, like, because it gives your life so much meaning. But I think the important thing is only to get the animals that you're able to look after, right? Because obviously you and I are at home all the time at the moment, aren't we? Yeah. I mean, they're probably the best looked after dagoos of rats, like, ever. So like mine have a big cage that they come out and play with me for about 3 hours a day or something. They have a little cage that they sleep in at night and a big cage they play in during the day. You know, I probably spend more money on them than I do myself. Like, you have to bear in mind all these different things, don't you, and getting an animal. But if you are struggling with your mental health and you do have like the ability to get an animal, it's really worth doing, I think, isn't it?
Definitely.
Because they're crazy and they're naughty and they just, you know, make you laugh all the time. And yeah, it's really great. I think so many people talk about how much animals impact them. Yeah, this is like a really casual one, isn't it? Just talking about, yeah. But
yeah, you can see mine just.
When do you think they help you the most, or in what ways do you think they help you the most?
Oh, all the time, just by like cuddling them when they're running around. They're so funny, they're hilarious. I sit in my room and just laugh sometimes at like the mischief that they get up to. Like, they climb on things, and the way like sometimes like something falls and then they do like a backflip and like land. It's so cool. Like, it's just hilarious. I just have a great time laughing by myself in my room.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. Like, watching them just do their stupid things like makes you laugh. You know, when you turn around and they've like found a jammy dodger that I have no idea where she's got it from and she's running around with it in her mouth, like, you do laugh. And I was literally watching her out of the corner of my eye a second ago, and she kind of leaped onto the bed to try and climb up it, and then like fell off backwards, and you just can't help but laugh, can you? And they bring a smile to your face. And when you're feeling anxious or depressed, like sometimes, or I don't really use Star because she you know, she's just different type of daegu, but Luna will happily sit there with me when I'm really anxious or something, and it's a type of mindfulness where you can just stroke her and all of that. Maybe we should do an animal mindfulness video or something. But you can just stroke her and be present, like, in how she feels and things like that. And sometimes like you can think as well that something so small like trusts you and loves you, and it's a nice feeling, I think. Like, and it's such a good way to connect with other people as well. Like, on Zoom, I'm always like, look at my debut.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Surprisingly, I haven't got like a lot of negativity for my rats that I was like not expecting, but I thought I would get. Um,
Hmm.
I don't tell like loads of people anyway, but like, because I do kind of want to, they are mine. But some people do think like, oh, is that a hamster? Because they haven't really seen like a pet rat before. Or you get a lot of because
I do.
people don't know what a daegu is.
Hmm. And they're like, oh, is it a rat? Is it a
Squirrel?
squirrel? Is it a hamster? I've had everything.
Yeah.
But like people, it's such a nice experience as well though, when like people are smiling and they like Google it and they're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I've never heard of it before. It's
Yeah.
so cool. And it's nice to see them bring joy to other people as well. When I like show them on camera and they're like, oh my God, I've learned something new today.
Mhm.
And you feel like an expert in something as well. Like it's a cool fact about you. Like, oh, I have two dagies or I have two rats.
Yeah.
And people just think like when you say like have a pet, they think of just like cats and dogs, but there's so many. I mean, I know people who have like snakes and lizards, and that brings them so much joy. It can literally be any animal. There's so many animals and they like suit your personality, don't they?
Yeah.
Like dagoos suit mine because they're a bit headstrong and they're a bit like independent and sassy. Like if I do something they don't like, they'll be grumpy at me for a while, and I love that, like their little personalities. Yeah. And do you feel like rats like suit you?
Definitely. They're like so outgoing, free,
Hmm.
running around, and
Hmm.
yeah. How do you think they suit me?
I think their trusting nature
Mhm.
as well. They trust. Um and it's just that companionship, isn't it? Like it's so amazing how like people go around in their life and they fill their lives with like meaningless friendships or connections. I'm just watching Star. She's like tight roping across the top of the box, which is why I keep looking over. um like some people fill their life with like meaningless relationships because they need that companionship. And it's like, I think for you, Dama, and I'm sure you don't mind me saying, like they've stopped you doing that, if that makes sense. They've offered you that companionship that you was craving and you was looking for in like unhelpful humans.
Yeah.
But now you have like this secure positive relationship with these animals, and they mean that you're able to like choose who you want in your life now rather than feeling lonely. I mean, how can you be lonely when you've got them? And I know that like loneliness is a feeling that you've struggled with like quite a lot.
Mhm.
um and they're so good at like at doing that.
Yeah.
I think that's why you needed them, like, and I needed mine because I needed to be something more than just like a student. I needed to have something to look after. I needed to have something outside of myself. I've always looked after other people, and it's part of my identity and values. And it's like when I stopped going to uni and I stopped volunteering, it was like, well, who am I now? When I became too ill to do these things, and it's like, well, if I'm nothing else, I've got two dagies that expect me to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I needed them as well. And they're just awesome. They just bring you so much joy, don't they?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So lastly, what I want to say is that
Hmm.
what if you can't have a pet? So
Yes.
what me and Olivia have both done, we have signed up on Borrow My Doggy, I believe a year ago or something, and we did
Hmm.
go on for in separate.
I think it might be more like two years ago now.
Yes, and I walked a little doggy called Alfie, to just boost my just going on walks, exercise.
Well-being, yeah.
Yeah. For like low blood pressure, heart rate slowed, better breathing, and muscle tension relaxed.
Hmm.
So if you can get yourself signed up to Borrow My Doggy. And the last one is there's called the Cinnamon Trust, and there's a lot of people that need elderly people that need their dog or something to like a pet to be looked after. So if you can't have a pet and you want to, you know, feel better, go onto these websites, and I will link them down below as well. Sign up to them and have fun with pets.
Yeah, and I think I'll add a couple of things there as well. I mean, you've volunteered with animals, haven't you, in the cat cafe?
Cat cafe, yeah.
So you can always volunteer with animals in stables or shelters or whatever. That's like a great thing. Or some simple thing that I love doing is I just go to like Pets at Home.
Yeah.
Just go to Pets at Home and have a look at the animals. It's a great thing to do as well if you've got kids and you just like want to fill some time but you don't have money. Like I grew up in a low income family and it's just like an easy thing to go and do. And the kids love it, but it doesn't cost any money. You just go and have a look. And they've got like their little bunnies and sometimes they've got dagoos.
Yes.
And yeah, so yeah, it's a good thing to do.
You just reminded me, obviously, because COVID restrictions are easing, I'm sure farms will be opening up soon.
Yeah, farms. Another thing you can do is even just like go feed ducks and stuff. I know they're not pet animals, but spending time around animals and like feeding them. Don't feed them bread. We're not allowed to do that anymore, are we? But like if you take them some, I think it's peas and like oats and stuff, you're allowed to feed them. Take some, feed the ducks, or like just go and sit and watch bird. I love bird watching. That was something I got into, wasn't it? Go get yourself a like a bird feeder and stick it in your garden and watch the birds. Or a squirrel feeder. They will come.
Yes,
be patient, but they will come. And just try to get some interaction with animals in some way in your life, and there's so many ways to do it. I mean, I've seen people who live in flats who don't have a garden and they'll just like put like a nail in their wall outside their window. They're like 3 floors up or something, and then they'll put a bird feeder outside their window. So that, you know, they at least get to see animals like during their day. And I do feel like most people can accommodate a little animal. You've just got to be creative, you know, like yeah, even if it's like sea monkeys. Some kids love their like little sea monkey things. So yeah, definitely.
yes.
Oh, talking about you.
Talking about you. Say again, say bye. Bye.
I love how wiggly they are.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Well, I hope you just enjoyed our ramble about animals. Really, we just wanted to show them off a bit, I think.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants any like rat specific or dago specific videos, we're happy to make them, like how to care for them and things like that. Because like when I was looking for dagos, it was so hard to find resources. So I'm happy to like stick up a few videos if that's something that people are interested in. But yeah,
Definitely. All right. Bye.
amazing. Bye. Thank you, everyone.